K in the hat, and we'll be drawing that name for our game in the second round. So, how many people have ever been to our battle before? Okay. Maybe it's easier to say, how many people have never been to our battle before? Oh, wow. How'd you hear about it? Oh, I'm joking. I'll make a lot of bad jokes tonight and probably mess up a few names, so bear with me. So each artist only has 20 minutes to create an original piece of art in their own signature style. They are allowed to bring a photo reference, and they're allowed now to do under sketching as well, but they still only have 20 minutes. The only thing they're allowed to do after the timer starts or stops is to sign the work for you. All work will be on auction in the other room, as well as has everybody register their phone numbers so that they can vote and bid. Awesome. If you haven't, please see the front desk. They will register your number. It's pretty painless. You won't get spammed for it. I promise. We will not sell your phone numbers to whatever buys phone numbers. We have an incredible photographer with us tonight, Matthew Kroll. So if you see him while he's taking pictures, uploading these pictures to the app for your bidding pleasure, please make way for him and don't be too mean to him. You can be a little mean, it's all right, he's earned it. Yeah. And as well as Natea on our live stream tonight. Now we have two other events going on in America. There's one in Vancouver, one in the States. So people around the world will be watching tonight. So should be fun. If you want to throw up some peace signs to the world, go ahead. Peace signs, I said though. Talk about the rules. Talk about the voting. I think that's pretty much it. Are you ready, Ottawa? Okay, so we're going to start the countdown. We're going to start at 10, and when we get to 0, we're all going to yell out, let's paint. You can do that, right? All right. I'm just setting my timer. 20 minutes on the clock. Oh, there's something else I forgot to mention completely. Our slow tornado. So basically what we're going to do throughout the evening is tonight we're going to go counterclockwise. We're going to move around in what I like to call the world's friendliest mosh pit. And basically that way everybody can see what's going on. All right, 20 minutes on the clock from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Courtney looks like she's throwing down a face right now. I think that Courtney is new to Art Battle, so we'll see how her style translates to the live painting arena. And on the end here, going in with some big bold brushstrokes of teal is Alyssa James. And we can see Alyssa is kind of just carving a shape out of her background color. And this is a really interesting way of painting to me because she's kind of establishing the background, I think, before she goes into what is going to be her main. And now moving over to Muriel. And Muriel, oh, no, this is Cecilia Chan. And Cecilia looks like she is painting some kind of environment, potentially moving into a cityscape. And then here we are with Ashley McIntosh. And Ashley is really well known for creating these really beautiful, soft. She's been posting a lot on Instagram in the last few days about practicing for Art Battle, trying out different paintings. So we've gotten a little bit of a preview, or at least I have, just because I follow her. And so I know that there's some really good stuff in store. Here we are with Courtney, and Courtney working into that face now. starting to get some of the warmer skin tones established. We can see that she's loading up her brush quite a lot and doing a lot of the color mixing right on the canvas. And over with Alyssa James again. And we can see that Alyssa is now adding in this contrasting super red color. And I think that we're going to be going into kind of a plant realm potentially with this piece. At least that's kind of what I'm starting to see. I wonder if maybe those are going to turn into mushrooms. I would love that. Alyssa is well known for creating these pieces that are bright but also have kind of dark and surreal elements and often feature a lot of eyes. And moving over to Cecilia Chan. And we were right. Definitely going into that cityscape. Cecilia is doing a fantastic job of creating a sense of perspective in this piece. I love the blue that she's using because not only are we getting the sense of the sky and the sky being seen through this tunnel of cityscape, but we're also getting that blue reflected off of the buildings, kind of really underlining the urbanity of the scene, that probably a lot of these buildings are made of glass and are reflecting that color as well. And our artist here, Muriel, is doing this gorgeous soft landscape. We've got a very traditional kind of take on where the horizon is sitting, and it's funny, it's actually very similar to Ashley's piece here as well, in that they're establishing the horizon line in a very similar spot in the canvas. Just goes to show those kind of classic art rules that a lot of artists will follow, not necessarily to be following the rules, but they're tried and true ways of expressing a certain subject, and then these artists are adding their style and breaking the rules on top of that. Back with Sarah here, and the pose of this figure is very interesting to me. Almost kind of throwing their hands up, very emotional. Back over to Courtney, and we can see that Courtney's portrait is evolving quite a lot. We now have hair being established into the portrait, which is really making sense of the scale of the face that she had created earlier. Back with Alyssa, and I was wrong. We are not looking at a plant. I was originally thinking that it was going to be a plant because of these lines that are happening in this oblong shape, but it's definitely looking like a ladybug that is starting to spread its wings. I think that that's really fun and is going to be adding this sense of whimsy to this round, and that the crowd is really going to be enjoying that. Back with Cecilia, and we can see all of these super expressive brushstrokes that Cecilia is using. And I love seeing that kind of paint application when it comes to an urban landscape, because it really just helps with the underlining the fast pace of those urban landscapes. And we're getting these shots of red in there, shots of yellow, possibly describing moving pedestrians or vehicles. Back with Muriel here. And we have a really nice level of texture going on in the sky, actually. We've got quite a lot of smoothness that's happening in the foreground in this field, with our scarecrow silhouette now rising out of the field. And then Muriel has used the sky and the blue as an opportunity to create some texture, and it almost gives a feeling of movement, like there's wind kind of going over this field. And on our warmer canvas here, we have Ashley McIntosh, and Ashley is working into a silhouette as well, but hers is really the central focus. And I think that this is more about design element than narrative for Ashley. We've got this super high level of contrast with these beautiful, super clean lines that are just growing out of the tree. The way that she's painting this tree is really mimicking the way that the tree would naturally occur and grow. We're seeing this kind of smooth, flowing movement coming out of the center of the trunk. And then over here with Sarah, and Sarah is really great at establishing light and shadow, and she's got kind of this upturned face here with the portrait. And we can see that the light is just hitting the face, and she's got that strong delineation of that jawline. Back with Courtney here, and Courtney is now adding in some very painterly elements with this wash of this kind of purpley lilac color. And it's really cascading down the canvas. And I think that this is a good tool to be using compositionally because it's helping to take up a lot of negative space that's already in the canvas. And we're just about 9 minutes into this round. So these artists have 20 minutes total to go from blank canvas to finished masterpiece in front of our audience's eyes. And the audience will vote for the best painting of their round, the favorite painting of their round. So go to artbattle.com/events. That is where you will be registering to vote for your favorite artist. The top 2 artists from this round and the top 2 artists from our next round in Ottawa will move forward into a 4-artist final. And same for our events in Jackson, which will be happening. We'll be switching over our feed to there very shortly just to check out what the artists are doing. And also in Portland. So we're going to have 3 winning artists total at the end of the night. So lots of exciting live painting going down right now. I love the way that Alyssa has started to add these tones within the wings of the ladybug, but she's still maintaining a level of transparency. And I think that she's doing that by keeping the paint fairly wet as she's blending it into those wings. And we have kind of these moments where the darker color is overlapping the lighter color that she's using and creating that beautiful transition that is suggesting that translucence. Back with Cecilia Chan here. And Cecilia is just really emphasizing the amount of light that is going on in this piece and is using all of these dashes to really underline the directionality that our eyes should be going in. We're seeing a lot of movement coming from the street, and then that movement is all being mirrored in these dashes of highlight that she's putting into the buildings, drawing our eyes into the center of the canvas. Checking out Muriel's reference. Back with Ashley here, and Ashley's still working into these tree branches, really keeping that super, super clean line work. And that is very difficult to do with black over top of such a light color like yellow. Yellow especially is really, really easy to get muddied up. And so Ashley's super careful work here. It's not smudging anything at all, and it's just creating this very stark visual, and I think that Ashley is really achieving what she wants to here. Sarah now going into kind of the planes of the face. We can see that the eye socket and the shadow underneath the nose and the suggestion of the lips have now been established in the face, and we're really getting this kind of glow, this glowing aura from this figure, and there's so much emotive energy, but also this piece is very much a celebration of light and shadow and expressing those in a fairly compartmentalized way, and I think it's a very mature way of painting. Always love seeing Sarah work. Back with Alyssa here, and I'm so excited. We're getting our spots on the ladybug, but they're not just spots. They're little stylized eyes. And that's very true to Alyssa's studio style. I was wondering if we were gonna see any eyes from her. And it looks like we're getting that hit of, again, that whimsy from Alyssa by putting the eyes as the spots on the ladybug. Over with Cecilia, and looks like Cecilia is painting a very classic looking streetcar. I'm actually wondering whether or not the reference that she's using is a scene from Toronto, because I definitely recognize the coloring of the streetcar. she's doing a really just amazing job at using all of these larger abstracted strokes to really come together as a cohesive image. And our scarecrow is really coming together with Muriel there, and the use of that sandy brown color to be kind of the wheat in the field that the scarecrow is protecting is providing a really great opportunity for that level of contrast to shine on that black scarecrow. Back over to Sarah here, and Sarah's now emphasizing a central line within the figure, coming immediately down from that shadow underneath the chin. And she's actually added some really interesting stylistic elements here that are leaning more into the illustrative. We've got kind of this spiral now coming out of the eye, and really adding a lot of intrigue to this piece and definitely bringing it more into that surrealist realm. Back with Courtney here, and we can see that Courtney is now adding some defining lines into the chin of her portrait, really helping to bring that figure forward. 3 minutes, looks like she's tackling the amount of negative space that she had still hanging out at the bottom of the canvas by adding in a red shirt, and she's doing that super quickly, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to really ground that figure in the space. Back with Alyssa here, and I really am enjoying the way that Alyssa has now created this frame around the painting with kind of this greeny brown color. That's always a compositional tool that I really, really enjoy. I just feel like it emphasizes the paintingness of the painting. I'm not sure how to express that directly, but it gives it that extra compositional oomph. This piece from Cecilia is surely going to be one to beat in this round. I think that because of the recognition factor in this piece and all of this rapid brushwork, I think that the crowd is really going to respond super well to that piece. All right, quite the surprise from Muriel here. We now have all of this super gory blood dripping down the canvas, and I have to say I'm really excited about it. It was a good painting technically, and there were some really cool points about it, but now we're getting into this surprise element that I'm sure is going to be drawing the crowd in. The crowd really loves any opportunity for surprise, and so I think Muriel's strategy here in her painting is gonna really pay off for her in terms of votes, because I think that this performance is just adding so much to the piece. Back over with Ashley, and Ashley now adding in this fence post here behind the tree, really emphasizing that linear quality of design in this piece. Such a surreal character from Sarah, coming together really well. Back with Courtney, and Courtney is now adding some of the magenta kind of red that she had going on in the shirt into the background elements as well, helping to harmonize the piece. And Alyssa adding in some final points of contrast and just honing little details. And we are getting our countdown now as the round comes to a close. Our 20 minutes are up.